former U.S. Navy JAG officer and North Carolina Republican Senate candidate Don Brown. Great to have you with us this morning. I know you hope to replace Senator Tom Tillis on the ticket after he refused to support President Trump's big, beautiful bill. I know there's a lot packed into that bill. How would you have voted?
Cheryl, Mark, good to see you both. Yes, I would have supported the bill. There are too many important things that we have to accomplish. We've got to extend those Trump tax cuts and make them permanent. That would have been a disaster if those had expired. The border wall protection and the border security has got to take place. And as a Navy guy myself, I've been concerned about, our shipbuilding is dwindling. We're now much smaller than the Chinese Navy. We've been a maritime power, and the big, beautiful bill will do that. It does spend more money than we want to spend, but we're going to come behind that with a rescission package and really go after some of those DOGE cuts. But for national security's sake, it had to take place. I kind of like to joke around, our campaign has been so effective since February that we ran a rhino senator out of the race who needed to be out of the race, but President Trump gets credit for that. We are going to take this Senate seat, we're going to hold it, and we're going to put an America First MAGA candidate and senator here in North Carolina that our state can be proud of. And it's a good day to know that Senator Tillis won't be running. We're going to take that seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, in my 12-plus years in presidential politics, I've spent a lot of time in North Carolina, and it is a true definition of a swing state. I mean, voters, they narrowly helped President Trump's red wave during the presidential election just a few months ago, and he won by a few months. But then at the same time, voters convincingly sent a liberal governor, Josh Stein, to the governor's mansion. So in the spirit of fighting off a blue wave, what are you going to do to make sure it's a red state, not a blue state, when it comes to this upcoming election?
Well, first off, let's be clear. The leftist media likes to call us a swing state. And you make a point, Stein's in office, he's a leftist, he's a radical. But in the last 16 presidential elections, North Carolina has gone Democrat only twice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what President Trump did. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to take the fight to the Democrats. One of the reasons the conservatives love President Trump, he's the first president, really since Reagan, even exceeded Reagan, to take it to the jugular of the Democrats. I want to do that. I want to run against Roy Cooper, because if I run against Roy Cooper, I'm going to remind our citizens, remind Roy Cooper how he shut this state down, how he destroyed the economy. More than 50% of North Carolina restaurants closed. He imposed these unconstitutional mask mandates. The last time I saw my dad alive, Mark and Charlotte, was looking through the outside of a nursing home in Plymouth, North Carolina, because of Cooper's unconstitutional mandates. And we're going to remind the state about how he commuted multiple murderers as he was going out of office. He has a record to run on, and we're going to stick it. We're going to use a hot cattle prodder to stick it up to Democrats. You know what? They're going to face a force they've never met before. When you remind the people of the Democrats' records, we will take them out. This is a conservative state, and we're going to win this race.
So quickly, how do you plan to convince North Carolina voters to vote for you in November? What's the game plan?
Well, the game plan is track record, Charles. That's a great question. First off, one of the reasons Tillis is gone is because he stabbed the president in the back at every nook, corner, and cranny. I've got a track record supporting the president. I've worked very closely with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to bring about rules of engagement issues. Lieutenant Clint Lawrence was pardoned. I was one of 4 JAG officers, with Colonel John Meyer heading that team. We worked closely with Pete to get that pardon. I've worked with J6 Patriots. I'm one of the very few attorneys in the United States to have the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to pardon not 1 but 2 of my clients. I've got a track record that is pro-Trump. So I will have the president's back, clearly, because of my track record in the last 2 years of his administration, and I'll have J.D. Vance's back for the next 4 years after that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We'll probably talk again between now and next November. Don Brown, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Mark, Charlotte, thank you both.